I do apologize if I sound a little tired, a little slurry, if you will. I know I did work today and this week, so I'm very tired. But I wanted to come on here because it has been reported and rumored that MSNBC, along with several other NBC Universal Comcast outlets, is probably up for grabs when it comes to basically being bought out by somebody else. And I do apologize for that notification there. That was YouTube showing me a notification by Ovaltine Bacon, one of the channels I've subscribed to. But anyway, I do apologize for that, and I do apologize for any future sounds you might hear because of notifications or texts and all that. But like I said, MSNBC seemingly is one of the networks, basically under the NBC Universal Comcast umbrella, along with Bravo and I believe some of the Oprah channels like Oxygen and OWN and so on, that are up for grabs potentially. And this is something that apparently Comcast has been wanting to do for a while. They've been wanting to, sell off individually all these networks. Now, the question is, will they still remain under the NBC Universal Comcast umbrella? I would say they would, mostly NBC Universal, but they'll be treated as their own individual conglomerates. But why is this, such an important thing when it comes to MSNBC? Well, quite simple. They have various people on there, from Rachel Maddow to, what's her name, Joy Reid, I believe. Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, Morning Joe, but mostly the first two, Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid. They basically have been very, I guess you could say, vocal and anti-Trump, if not how dare you do this to our country when it comes to the election. I mean, Joy Reid has basically outright, suggested a race riot, from what has been reported. She is basically wants to incite or suggest inciting some kind of a race riot. Again, this is what's been reported through Clownfish TV and other outlets, Fox News, you name it. And you can't blame MSNBC if maybe they're like, well, if we're going to sell, not MSNBC, but you can't blame Comcast, NBC Universal. If they're going to sell maybe MSNBC to somebody, then maybe the reason they're doing it is because they don't want to associate with someone like Joy Reid anymore, and the same with Rachel Maddow. I mean, again, we get that they're not happy with the results, but, things happen. You just got to move on. You got to accept that things are going to be this way for the time being. You can't just expect them to say, hey, Rachel and Joy, Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid on MSNBC, they're mad. So let's do a recount, make them happy and make it look like Kamala won. You cannot feel like this. You cannot feel this way forever. You got to move on. You have to move on. Same with the view over at NBC, like Whoopi Goldberg, Sunny Houston, I think that's her name, Sunny Houston, if you will, Joy Behar and everything. You have to move on. You have to basically move away from this and realize, hey, we lost this year, but maybe in the next 4 years, the party we support and are part of will learn from their mistakes and basically do better. That maybe in the next 4 years, if Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom or whoever decides to run for president, that they'll learn from the mistakes from this year and be like, okay, what we need to do is we need to go out and we need to engage. We need to actually engage the people and see what they want and what they want us to continue on from this current administration that's going to be going in 2025. That's what they got to hope for. Not be mad and everything because they didn't get the way for the second time period when it came to a woman becoming president. Because I say it with all due respect, no offense, that's mainly what this really is about. It isn't about misogyny, like Sunny Houston has said. It isn't about sexism, like she's mentioned and Joy Reid mentioned and Rachel Maddow has mentioned and others. No, it's not about that. It's plain and simple about the fact that a woman did not get the nod to become president this time for the second time period. And it's eating them alive. They have to realize, as I've said before, we are going to get a woman president. It just takes time. It takes the right person. It takes the right, team around them to, get people behind them. We may not like Nikki Haley, but Nikki Haley, I believe, in 2028, if she runs, she will be probably the most popular Republican nominee or independent, whatever she does, nominee presidentially in a long time. She will be. She will be the most popular. She'll be the most, I guess you could say, likable in a sense, to where she might become the one. She might become the one. Heck, 2028 might come down to her and Kamala Harris for all we know. I mean, I know people are saying, oh, no, it'll be Donald Trump Jr. or Eric Trump against Gavin Newsom and whoever. And that might happen too, but something tells me that before this decade is out, we are going to be swearing in 2029 a woman president, and it's going to be either Nikki Haley or Kamala Harris. And guess what? If it's Kamala Harris, it's going to be because her and the team she surrounds herself with are going to learn from the mistakes they made this year, and they're going to be like, hey, let's not do that. Let's do this. Let's do what helped Trump and his team win and go from there. I guarantee that if she wins, it'll be because of that in 2028. But you have these women, you have these women coming up with all these different excuses, and not just women either. There are men too, but men, obviously, they have different reasons and all that. I think someone like Maureen Joe on MSNBC, I think he's mad maybe because Trump didn't return his calls to go and work for him or be part of his cabinet or something like that, or an advisor. I think that's what it is. He's just not saying so. He's just not saying so. But to me, I truly believe that these ladies need to calm down. They need to, basically take a deep breath. Men and women, I should say, need to take a deep breath and realize, hey, we didn't get it this time, but 2028, it's a new year. It's a new election year. And hey, we might get something there. Right now, what they have to realize is this is all about, plain and simple, this is all about fixing the economy and getting things back on track, back on a balanced level, so that whoever goes in, in 2028, whoever goes in midway in 2026, they will have less to screw up and more to build upon, if you know what I mean. But yeah, apparently Rachel Maddow and Joy Reid may not have a network or a channel or a news outlet to work for anymore, because either one of them, if not both, will be fired. Joy apparently probably will be fired before the sale of the network or the news channel. Or when the channel does get sold, if Comcast is able to do that and it stays under the NBC Universal umbrella, but it goes under the ownership of somebody else, they might get let go because that person will be like, hey, I don't want your kind of people working for me unless you're going to be unbiased and, you're going to be professional. That's what's going to that's what could probably happen eventually. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see what they do basically within the next year. And The View might be seeing some changes too, because The View, according to a report, Fox News has said this, others have said this, they might be adding a new member to their little round table, if you will. Whoopi, Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny Hostin, Houston, whatever, Sunny Houston. I'm trying to pronounce it right. But Whoopi, Joy Behar, Sunny Houston, and the other ladies, they might be adding a new member soon, whether they like it or not. And it could be a pro-Trump supporter Who that would be, we don't know, but apparently ABC wants it because obviously they're seeing the ratings going down for The View, and they're seeing people turn it off or turn against it, and they want somebody in there that, hey, they might be going in, 5 against 1 or 4 against 2 or whatever. They want somebody in there that's going to say, hey, I get what you're saying, but this is the reason from the point of view where I'm from, kind of deal. But we'll see. We'll see. That's the report going on. But what do you think about that possibility? And who do you think could be joining them on that round table that ABC would want to bring in that's pro-Trump? But yeah, that's apparently what's going to happen with MSNBC and all that. They might be under new ownership soon, which means Joy Reid, if she's not fired by then, could be fired, when the sale is complete by the new boss, along with Rachel Maddow. Or if they want to save their job, they're just going to have to say, hey, we won't be this way anymore. We'll be unbiased and, we'll be professional. But I think it's way too late for them. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. Comment down below, like the video. Love to hear from each and every one of you on this. How do you feel about this news and all that, of all this possibly happening? Let me know. And until then, I am out.